So, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in and listening to my talk today. And thank you, Women Tech Network and Women Tech Global Conference team, for this huge opportunity and for making this event a global platform. So, my name is Neha, and I'm from India. Before we get started, I'll tell you a little bit about my life story. I started my life as a software engineer with TCS, and then I went on to pursue a postgraduate program in business administration, which is where my first tryst with finance happened. And that is where I fell in love with finance. This was more like, it started more as a necessity, on the fallback of a personal struggle that I had. And I said, rather than reaching out to somebody else, why not get started and learn this concept myself and enable myself? So the session that I'm going to talk about today is going to be about enabling financial literacy and understanding its importance. So finance for me is this beautiful ocean of opportunities where the more you swim, the more there is to learn and absorb and, keep going as you get it deeper and deeper into it. So if you have any questions, as I mentioned before, just pop them in the chat window below, and I'm going to take them up after I wrap up. So, earlier this year, I was fortunate in that this journey with finance took me to Wall Street, and I worked for an upcoming amazing stock exchange there. And now I'm back to India, and I'm setting up the Finlit project with collaboration with IIM Bangalore. So this is just a little bit about me so that you know who I am. And there's a conference picture just so that, everybody gets in that head mode of, oh yeah, we are in a conference. So one of my very, 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 very close to my heart quotes is by Joan Robinson. And Joan Robinson was a British economist who was very well known for her contributions to economic theory. She once said, "The purpose of studying economics is not to acquire a set of ready-made answers, but to learn how to avoid being deceived by economists." So now she passed away nearly 4 decades ago, but this saying is still so applicable to finance and economics in today's world as well. The point of knowing what financial literacy is and how important it is, no matter what you do or how much you earn or how you earn it, is truly resonant in this simple saying. So traditionally, if you were to go and do a quick Google, financial literacy is the possession of skills and knowledge that allow you to make better informed financial decisions with the resources that you have at your displeasure. But why do we need to learn about it? Why is this a topic? And what is all this hullabaloo around financial literacy? If you were to go, and let me take you to a global S&P survey, which was conducted last year, the statistics are very sobering. Worldwide, only 1 in 3 adults are financially literate. Not only is financial illiteracy widespread, there are huge variations in terms of demographies and groups. For example, and this is not something to be proud of, but we are all educated women, but unfortunately only 30% women across the globe are financially literate. Now, this is true not only in developing countries like India, Southeast Asia, those kind of places, but this is a problem with well-developed economies as well. So let me tweak it a little bit and delve you deeper into the definition of financial literacy. The OECD, or the Organization for Economic Development, says that financial literacy is not restricted simply to knowledge. It has more. It is a combination of awareness, knowledge, skill, attitude, and behavior put together necessary to make sound financial decisions and ultimately achieve financial well-being. So financial literacy essentially is equal to, if I were to make it into a formula, is financial knowledge plus financial attitude plus financial behavior. Now, why is attitude important in such a dry and mundane field? The reason for that is, if people have a lax attitude towards saving for their future, they will be less inclined to undertake financial behavior. Similarly, if you prefer to prioritize short-term wants, something that you want right away, you are less likely to provide for a future, emergency or something that were to happen unexpectedly. In that context, financial illiteracy becomes a barrier to financial inclusion. There are so many people who have access to financial, inclusion services like payments, credit, digital payments, risk management tools, but somehow they are not using them correctly. So financial literacy skills are important for these kind of people. In fact, these tools are not an end. Just because you use these tools does not mean you're financially literate. They are rather a means to that end. So, how do we understand how to use these tools effectively and in a better way? There are four fundamental pillars of financial decision making. The number one being basic numeracy. This is nothing but elementary mathematics that we've all done in sixth and seventh grade in school. The second is interest compounding, which is the power of compounding, as Warren Buffett says. The third thing is inflation, which is the time value of money. How much is $100 going to be worth after 10 years? It's definitely not going to be worth the same amount of money as it is today. And lastly, risk diversification. We've all heard that we should never put all our eggs in one basket, yet so many of us end up pulling all our money in a savings bank account and not bothering about it. So that is where the change in mindset has to happen. So if I were to put all this together and make it into a beautiful tree, and I'm not sure if this slide is very, very visible because, it's looking small, so I'm going to send these slides away. So now imagine that your financial well-being is this beautiful apple tree in an orchard with different influencing factors. What would be the roots of this tree? The roots of this tree would essentially be financial capability. This is where your knowledge, awareness, skills, behavior, all these things come under. The second is economic resources. This is nothing but your income. How much are you earning and how much can you save out of it? The third thing is financial inclusion, which implies access to appropriate and affordable financial services. And lastly, social capital. People report greater financial well-being when they have support from family, friends, community, all sorts of things. So now when you have this tree and there are the roots, what is this weather which is having, it's raining sometimes and it is not in your favor sometimes. These could essentially be factors like health, essentially mental health, household, community and societal conditions, and life events. So the point is that in spite of all these weather factors coming into place, if your roots are strong, then you will be able to survive all kinds of weather, in turn surviving all kinds of economic shocks. So now that we know what financial literacy is, I'm going to quickly run through a few steps for enabling financial literacy. Number one, acknowledge your concern and embrace your fears. And then start listing down your goals. Start early, which means start today. Tiny habits matter. Start small and build your corpus as you grow. Diversify your risks. And most importantly, remember, it's your money. Only you can take the best care of it. Nobody else can do it as well as you can with the right resources. And this is how you can discover your path to financial freedom and financial liberation. So focus areas for individuals, we do a lot of work with corporates, but when we talk about you and there are a few focus areas that you need to take care of, which include money matters, banking, insurances, investments, retirement planning. Every country has very specific government schemes. How can I know more about that? How much tax am I paying, which all of us hate? And can I probably, do something which would lower my tax liabilities? And of course, in the age of digitization, the worst thing to happen to somebody is a scam or a fraud or a phishing, attack. So let's all be aware of all these focus areas for us and make those changes. So while savings, investments, wealth creation, and debt reduction is central to a good financial plan, the key is constantly learning and, keeping track of your developments and managing your finances. The mantra is the younger you are when you start investing, the wealthier you will be. So invest early and invest well. We at the Finlit Project believe that every woman is beyond capable of practicing financial literacy. Sometimes simply the fear of losing money, or in most cases, procrastination is what prevents us from taking the right steps. Let's toggle this button in our lives from disabled to enabled, and you will never look back. There might be times when you sort of go back into the disabled mode, and that is where your community will help you and will help you get back on track. If you're in college, make a finance club. If you're at a workplace, why not get together with women and discuss your financial needs? You can also get in touch with us as we build financially conscious and independent global citizens. reach out to us if you've ever come across a financial jargon which is probably just swooped over your head. And I promise we're going to make it like simple English for you. So don't hold back. Your financial journey starts with you, and we will empower you together with the help of this community to reach your financial goals. So I want to give due credit to Anna and the Women Tech Global team for organizing this event. And there is a few sources which I collected my data from. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and look just in case you have a few questions for me. And there we go. Yeah, right. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I just try to wrap it all in 10 minutes because 10 minutes is a very short time. Hey, Heel from Budapest. Hey, Rachel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, Fiona. Hi, Rishika. If you have any questions, please connect with me on LinkedIn. We're just starting this mission, as I call it, and in this age, it's truly going to be a global mission. So thank you so much. Connect with me offline, book a free session with me, and I'm going to coach you about finance and practical finance, not what we study in books. This is beyond that. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to see if there are a few questions. Hey, Shita. I'm sorry. Hey, Nida. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Hey, Aditi. Great to connect with you. I'm going to send you all LinkedIn requests. And we are in a day and age where everything is possible. So let's connect. Let's build this this mission for women empowerment. And let's all become financially literate. So thank you so much for your time. Hey, Ronika. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you guys joining in. And let's connect. Let's connect in the networking session now. So thank you so much.